blinking eye of reality TV. The minute the loyalty test was revealed, the set seemed to pulse in anticipation. Yandy and Rasheeda exchanged a tight nod before shifting into position for the following scene. Challenge rules, evidence of allegiance, and the light altered to a cooler tone, enhancing the impression of gravity. Fans are surprised by how fast a humorous test may become a battlefield for trust, and emotions ran high as the ladies prepared to confront their most intimate performance. Although Yandy cautiously opened the first package, her fingers trembled. Inside contained a single card per week. Complete a behind-the-scenes job that complements your sister's storyline without overshadowing your own. Glanced over to Rasheeda, searching her eyes for a flicker of support. Rasheeda sighed softly and opened her mail. Her card said, "Share one secret about yourself that has never been revealed to remind your sister of your relationship." Jock saw their hearts pound as the weight of the deal gathered about them. Money and Cease hung in the wings, preparing themselves for the consequences. The host's voice crackled over the speakers. "Your first assignment starts now," she announced. Yandy, "you'll shadow Rasheeda on her main storyline today, assisting with every step but speaking only when requested. Rasheeda, you will respond one intimate inquiry about your history. Live on camera to demonstrate sensitivity." The order lingered in the air like a binding spell. Yandy breathed and nodded, stepping off the stage toward Rasheeda, who stood near the garment rack, script sheets in hand. As they moved to the dressing room set, Rasheeda's makeup artist softly wiped at her cheeks to remove traces of tears. Yandy followed quietly, clutching Rasheeda's evening gown for her. Sounds were the hiss of steam irons and the rustling of cloth. Cease gave Rasheeda her writing, and Rasheeda stared at Yandy. Her eyes were filled with vulnerability. "Anything," she replied meekly. Gentler than before, Yandy paused. Her eyes dropped as she recalled the long evenings they spent confiding in one another and murmured secrets after rap. She summoned strength and met Rasheeda's eyes. "What is the most difficult thing you've ever forgiven me for?" she asked. Though the makeup artist halted mid-wipe, crew personnel froze mid-task, and even Jock Rasheeda's lips parted as memories poured over her. "When I found out you released my personal messages to producers," she admitted gently. "Yay," shuddered remorse sweeping over her. Rasheeda said, "I was hurt and felt betrayed, but I forgave you because I believed in our friendship." Her words dropped like a bomb on Yandy's wounded heart. Viewers are astonished by Rasheeda's honesty, and the family was no longer divided, but rather transformed by vulnerability. The director called rolling, and the cameras caught the moment Rasheeda straightened her voice and repeated her response. "For the audience, that moment damaged my trust, yet I chose forgiveness since Yandy was like a sister," and tears sparkled in her eyes, an unrestrained expression of passion unusual in stage acting. Yandy nodded. "Thank you," she said, her voice husky with tears. With a brief wobbly grin, the cameras went to Jock, who wiped his own tears. "That was brave," he remarked softly. Next, it was Yandy's chance to perform. Throughout the afternoon session, she carefully stalked Rasheeda, carrying scripts, cueing lines, retrieving props, but did not speak until Rasheeda urged people to watch and wonder. Yandy anticipated every need, providing a modest nod or a delicate touch. Rasheeda's arm during a heated dispute scene. Subsequently, Rasheeda's performance. Yandy stepped in with a whispered line suggestion that stabilized her. The director applauded the seamless, unaware of the gesture's greater meaning. Emotions ran high as spectators saw Yandy's dedication in action. Toward the end of the day, the set plunged into, with a quiet, the host returned to your center stage. "You both completed today's jobs with honesty and integrity," she added, "but true refreshed." A crew member arrived with a tablet. "Your first social challenge comment is live," she stated. Three clustered around as tweets lit up. "Yandy's loyalty job is really nice. Rasheeda's revelation was real family drama at its best." Jock grinned at them. Response: Money and Cease joined them, excitement spreading. "Your trending." Money stated. Yandy's lips curled into a timid grin. "Maybe this task is more drama," she remarked. "Maybe it's healing." The next morning at Hair and Makeup, Rasheeda finds herself at the center of a fresh storyline. Reconnecting with Yandy on social media, producers had organized 4 live responses. Rasheeda: "Today, I stood alongside my sister and saw Yandy's tweet of support appear on a teleprompter behind the camera. Because family is more than ratings." Tears threatened to flow. Rasheeda, she calmed herself and turned to meet Yandy's gaze. "I see your loyalty." Yandy nodded. "And I see yours." The cameras caught each flare of genuine feeling is a testimony to the challenge's power. Back on set, Jessica watched from across the studio, arms crossed. Jock spotted her face harden. "She's not pleased that you both drew closer. he murmured to Yandy and glanced across. She never was happy. Rasheeda grabbed her hand and said, unless she controls the chaos, maybe we'll keep creating our own. Tail, she added. The words seemed like a victory hymn for the group surrounding them. Later that day, when the challenge came to an end, the host re-emerged with pleased expressions. It's time to reflect, she remarked, gesturing toward a giant screen behind her, showcasing snippets of Yandy and Rasheeda's chores, moments of support weeping. Confession fans were attracted by the surprising shift from competition to after the reunion. The host asked the sisters, how does it feel to have your path laid bare? She asked. Yandy spoke first. It's scary, she said, but also liberating. I've learned that loyalty be louder than drama. Rasheeda nodded in agreement, and that vulnerability rebuilt what was broken. Emotions ran strong as the three for her reaction. Timid grin. I see. I missed loyalty isn't about sides. Loyalty isn't about sides. It's about whatever happens, we will stand together. The words lingered in the air like a confession. Hinted at her own change, he leaned over and gripped Jessica's hand. Connecting the four in a tight circle, even the host was caught away by a grin as the cameras panned out to astonishment. Speculations circulated around the hallways that she may support Jessica, but no one anticipated the frost in Rasheeda's voice when she replied, I can't be a part of this charade anymore, and went away. Yandy's eyes filled with anguish, her meticulously applied makeup pouring down her cheeks as if tracing the lines of betrayal. Surrounding crew members paused mid-setup, wondering whether to assist or pull aside and let the storm calm on its own. Fans are surprised to envision the Queen of Poise undone so utterly. Yet at that moment, the family was split in more ways than ever before, and she remained glued to the place, her fists clenched at her sides, replaying Rasheeda's remarks. The ambient buzz of cameras and mic checks melted into a heavy stillness in the corner. Money and Stop exchanged uncomfortable looks. Wondering how to soothe the heated tension, Jock approached cautiously, anguish engraved over his face. Yandy, talk to me, he pushed quietly, but Yandy's breath seized in her throat and she shook her head, incredulity oozing into her tone. She chose her side, shimmer-mured voice shaking. She chose Jessica over me. Emotions raced wild as Jock attempted to comfort her, his arm a tenuous lifeline in the sea of commotion. The air crackled as Jessica strutted into frame, a victorious grin flickering on her lips. She felt Rasheeda's win, her eyes